YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be cooking roast for my grandparents and my whole family. So I'm doing roast chicken and roast potatoes at the moment. I'm peeling the potatoes and then I'm going to put them on to boil, and while I'm waiting for them to boil, then I'm going to deal with the chicken. Remember, I have to wash these before I put them on to boil. I am now here washing the potatoes, and then I'm going to put them on the cooker to boil, and then after they've boiled I'm going to put them in the oven to then roast. So I'm going to half boil them. I'm going to be now doing the chicken. I'm first going to put the onions and the carrots in the bottom, and then I'm going to pour the stock over the top. And I have cut the onions, and normally I wear goggles or glasses, but I didn't do it this time, and I'm nearly crying because the onions can go in your eyes and it really hurts, especially the onion juice. So I'm going to spread these around in the bottom of the tray. I'm just copying what my dad does because I see him doing it. So I'm just copying him, being a copycat. So I'm just spreading these around. So this tray, you might be wondering, why are there two trays? Am I going to be making two chickens? I'm using this one for roasting the potatoes and this one for roasting the chicken. So I've put the onions in. So now I'm going to put this rack in the chicken tray. It's a bit hard when there's lots of lumps in the bottom, but I can do it. There. So I'm now going to put the chicken in. I'm not going to put it in the plastic because I'm not going to put it on there in the plastic because plastic isn't good for you. And I don't even know why they're even packing them in plastic, because plastic is polluting the world and isn't good for the world. So I'm going to cut it out of the plastic. It can be quite hard, and sometimes it's a bit easy. Sometimes you have to do just a bit of snipping, and sometimes you have to do a lot. I'm going to pour the stock over here, and the stock is what helps to make the gravy. We need a lot because there's like 7 people in my family, so if we just have a tiny bit, then it's not going to be enough gravy. So now I'm going to put the chicken on the rack, upside down on its tummy, breast. It's very floppy and slimy when you feel it. It's very slimy. Sometimes it's not that slimy, but it is quite slimy, and it's very heavy. I wonder how it would be like lifting the chicken when it's alive. There. I'm going to sprinkle a bit of salt on here, so then it's going to make the skin more crispy. Like everyone in my family they like it crispy. Even I like it crispy. I'm just going to sprinkle a tiny bit of the salt over like this. You don't need too much salt, otherwise the chicken will be too salty. So I'm now going to put it in the oven, and then I'm going to deal with the potatoes. I'm going to open the oven and I'm going to put it in for 30 minutes. And while I'm waiting for that 30 minutes, I'm going to be dealing with the potatoes, as I said. It's a bit heavy, so if you can't manage it, then please ask an adult to help you. After 30 minutes, I'm going to turn it and then sprinkle some more salt on the other side. Right, here are my potatoes. I've just put them in and I'm leaving some to mash for my grandpa. So I'm going to now pour a little bit of oil over the top, and then I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of salt over. So I'm going to put them in the same oven that I've put my chicken in. I'm going to put them underneath for 30 minutes, just like the chicken. And then soon I'm going to be taking the chicken out to turn it and put some salt on and then put it back into roast. Right, I've now got this out of the oven and I'm now going to turn it around. You might be thinking, how are you going to turn it around with your hands? It's going to be really hard. Well, I'm not going to use my hands, I'm going to use these forks. These aren't forks for eating, they're for turning the chicken. So what you do is you put them in the chicken like this. It's a bit hard for me. And if it's a bit hard for you, you can ask an adult to help you. So then I turn it like that. So as you can see, it hasn't cooked much on this side, but it has cooked on the other side. So I'm going to put it back to cook on this side. But I'm first going to sprinkle a little bit of salt over the top of this like I did with the other side. And when I got it out of the oven, it smelled really nice because I love chicken. So I'm sprinkling some salt over the top of the chicken. So I'm now going to put it back in the oven for 30 more minutes for the other side to cook. So I've now put the chicken in. I'm going to take my potatoes out to check them to see if they're ready. I need to shut the oven door because if I leave it open, then first of all the chicken won't cook properly, and second of all it's just going to make all the heat come out. Right, I've now taken these ones out of the oven. I've taken the potatoes out of the oven and I've turned them, and you can see the nice golden brown colour on them. So we just need that to be on the other side as well. So I'm going to put them back in the oven. I'm going to open it wide because at first I burnt my arm when I was putting the chicken in. So I'm going to leave them to finish cooking while I'm doing the vegetables. Here I am with my vegetables. I'm peeling the carrots first because the beans cook quicker than the carrots. So I'm going to boil the carrots first and then I'm going to mix the beans with them. I'm going to cut the carrots in stick form so that then they're like the beans, so like stick, the beans, an orange stick. So I'm just going to finish peeling the carrots and then I'm going to cut them into sticks and boil them and then mix the beans together with them. I'm now cutting the carrots into sticks like the beans, so that they look like the beans, apart from they're orange and not green. So I'm going to boil them when I've finished them, and then I'm going to mix the beans in like I said. So I'm now going to put these in the pan, and then I'm going to start top and tailing the beans. If you don't know what top and tailing means, I'm just going to be chopping chopping the tops and the tails. Or both of them, the tops, or both of them, the tails. That's what I'm going to be doing. After this, I'm going to be making the pudding for our Sunday lunch special. These are the ones that I've come up with the vegetable beans, and so I'm going to cook the carrots for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to cook the beans on their own, and then I'm going to mix the beans and the carrots together at the end. So I'm going to do the bread sauce now. So you need an onion and cloves, and you put the cloves in the onion. And the cloves actually look like microphones because they're like very small microphones that are big enough for dolls. The onion also looks a bit like a hedgehog. It just needs a little head because at first I was like, is that a hedgehog? So the bread sauce goes well with the chicken. So I'm putting that in, and then I'm going to cover it with milk. Then after that, after I've boiled this milk and the onion, then I'm going to put breadcrumbs in. So I've put 2 cups of breadcrumbs into the milk and onion, and I put it on the ring to boil, and it actually boiled over, which was really annoying because I had to clean up the mess. While I'm waiting for the bread sauce to settle, I'm going to do my grandpa's mashed potato now. So I'm going to put some butter in and a little bit of salt. And then I'm going to put a tiny bit of milk in as well. So now I'm going to mash it all together with the mashing thing. Mashed potato for my grandpa, so it's ready for him now. So I'm now going to deal with the rest of the food and the pudding. This is how my chicken came out. It smells really nice. If you really want to see how it smells, then you could just cook it yourself, because you can't sniff the electronics that you're on, because all it's going to smell of is basically nothing. You have to cook it yourself, and then you'll see how it smells, because it smells lovely. I'm going to get the potatoes now from the oven. They're a bit hot, so I'm using gloves. Sometimes my mum, when she's getting stuff out, she can just use her bare hands sometimes, but sometimes she does need to use gloves. Even though these gloves aren't very good because they're very thin, so the heat just goes straight through and burns you. Okay, so here are the potatoes. They're now done, and as you can see the nice golden brown yellow colour. 3 colours in one. And I just feel like eating now because it smells so nice, and I feel like I can even taste it. Hope you liked my video. Please remember to subscribe and to hit that like button. If you're new and you haven't subscribed yet to my video, please do. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!